All right, it is Thursday evening, and I'm back down here working on the tile. I came down yesterday and did this little bit in the corner. Didn't get down till late, and didn't finish that up till about 9:30. Really didn't feel like mixing up anymore. I was tired, and had to take a long trip for work today, so decided to call it a night last night. But tonight, I'm going to go ahead and knock out the rest of this, and you can see it's tile by numbers. One of the things that I've done after I've got it all dry fitted is go around and trace all the tile and then write a number in there so I know exactly what goes there. Before, I was going by memory, or I was looking at the pattern on the box, or when I was over here, I was looking over here, making sure that I had everything lined out right. So instead of doing that, I figured the next best thing would be to go through here and outline all the tiles, and then just write in a number in the square there, or rectangle, or whatever, and document what tile goes where. That way I can go ahead and mix my mud up and get everything laid out here and get this stuff put in place. I'm going to quit right here in this spot. Once I get these two tile done, I'm going to go ahead and stop, and we'll save the rest of this for a later date, maybe next week sometime. Because once this area here is done, we're going to go ahead and grout all of this area. Get this done from the back door all the way over here to the end of the butler's pantry. We're going to go ahead and get all that grouted. And then once we have that grout set up and dried, we're going to go ahead and put cabinets in here. As I mentioned before, we got hardwood floors coming in. They were supposed to come in this week, but we were able to convince our flooring people to put them off one more week. But they're going to come in and unload all the hardwood floors, at least for the downstairs, in the dining room, and then we're trying to convince them to take all the stuff for the upstairs up the stairs and put it in one of the rooms up there. But we're going to have a bunch of hardwood floor coming in next week, so we're going to try to get all of these cabinets out of here. These are the butler's pantry cabinets. So we're going to go ahead and get all of those hung this weekend. My dad's going to come over and give us a hand, and we'll get all those assembled and set in place. We'll get out the laser level and go ahead and mark around the room here for our ledger board, and then go ahead and put those up, and then we'll set our uppers. Once we got those screwed in place, we'll come in and put our base cabinets in. Cannot wait to see how that looks. We are super excited about that. Thankfully, when the guys were framing this area out, we had them go ahead and install blocking in behind all the drywall here at the height where our cabinets are supposed to go. So that way we don't have to get the stud finder out and go searching for studs across here. We can just get them up in place and start screwing them in, and we know we're guaranteed to hit framing there. So I'm going to go outside and get a bucket of mud mixed up here, and then I'm going to start setting all of this tile in place. I've got it all kind of laid out here, ready to go. I'm trying to knock any of it off, and not to knock any of it off and break it at this point. And let's see, I think that's going to be about it. Actually, I got to run the shop vac real quick before I do that. Got to make sure that your Schluter, your Ditra, is clean and free of debris. You can see all that dirt and stuff that's gotten tracked in across here as we've been working across these other sections. So I'm going to have to get the shop vac fired up here, suck all that up. That way we don't have any issues with our thin set not sticking to the Ditra. Got to make sure that bonds perfectly. So that's the plan. I'm going to fire up the shop vac, get this area cleaned up, and go mix up a big bucket of thin set and start setting this stuff in place, try to get this knocked out, and head home for the evening. So I'll keep you guys posted. All right, it's Saturday morning and we are back in action. It's going to be an exciting day. We are going to knock off all of the tile spacers and levelers, and then we're going to clean out any grout joints that may have gotten a little thin set or something in there. I tried to clean them out as I went, but occasionally where that tile leveling system was, some thin set would work its way up in between the tiles, and I wasn't able to get all that out. And so I got some cleanup work to do, but as soon as we get that done, we're going to give the tile a really good bath. Just wipe it down really good, make sure there's no residue of any sort on it. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and hit it with a sealer, and we're going to seal the tile before we grout it. And the reason being is that slate, of course, being a natural stone, is a little porous, and we want to make sure that when we grout it, we don't get any grout residue or anything else on the edges of the tile that we can't get off. So We're going to the grout that's pretty similar in color to the slate itself, so even if a little bit gets kind of stuck on the edges, but it won't be a huge deal, but at the same time, we don't want to make it any harder on ourselves than we have to. So I'm going to get to work knocking these tile spacers and levelers out, and then go ahead and give the place a good cleanup. Start cleaning out those grout joints. Amber will be down here in a little bit, and she's going to give me a hand getting the grout done. I can't wait to see what it looks like at the end of that process. Then we got to let the grout dry, and we're going to go ahead and install some cabinets. So it's going to look awesome once we get those cabinets up in here. So stick with us today, and we'll see what we can get knocked out. All right, so we got all the spacers up, all the levelers off, all the grout joints cleaned out. Now we're giving it a final wipe down before we apply some sealant on it. Don't let Amber and my dad ever tell you they don't do floors, because they do. Right, Dad?
That's right. Get it all cleaned up so you make more mess.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to give it a good clean up here. Make sure that we get all the little bits of thin set or any sort of debris from where I was cutting the tile. Get all that cleaned off. And then we're going to apply a sealant to the slate before we hit it with the grout. That'll make sure that we don't have any grout stuck to the surface of the slate to make it easier to clean off. Keep up the great work, team. Now that's looking really good. We've got the tile completely clean, the grout joints free of debris, and the first coat of the impregnator sealer on the tile. So we are ready for grout. It looks fantastic. So we got to let the impregnator sealer dry for about 6 to 8 hours. So that rules out any type of grout activity this evening, which is okay. We're kind of tired, and it's getting late anyways. Not as late as it's been a couple nights this week. I was down here after midnight one night this week, and still recovering from that. But man, it looks great to have it all sealed and ready to go. So tomorrow we'll come down, get some grout mixed, and get it spread. Can't wait to see what it looks like when we get it done. So we'll check back in with you tomorrow.
Oh boy.
All right, so Amber's doing cleanup on the grout haze here. This is the second cleanup. I went through and cleaned it up a second ago. Dad's been working hard, carrying buckets of water back and forth, keeping us cleaned. Thanks, Dad.
Aye, sir.
It's really looking good there. The first bucket of grout went a long way. We got from this corner all the way over to the door in one bucket, and that was just partial. So that went a long way. So we're going to do this final little cleanup here.
How much of the bag did you use?
Oh, it wasn't even half.
Oh wow, okay.
Maybe a quarter of the bag.
Well, we might only need one bag.
Maybe. So we'll go ahead and do this final cleanup. Get this last little bit of haze off of here. And then go ahead and mix our second bucket up. Try to work it, I guess, so we can work our way out the door. I guess we can step on the tile, just not the grout lines, right?
Yeah, we just don't want to get in that.
So when we're wiping this other section down, we'll be working on the tile that we've already grouted. It should be fine as long as we won't step on the grout. All right, babe, keep up the good work. All right, so we got the first half done, and now we've just gone back through and done the second half, and we've let it dry for about 20 minutes or so. Got a good haze going here, so it's time to go back and get it all wiped off. Water boy's out here getting the buckets of water ready for us. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to go ahead and start wiping her down and get this job finished.
Amen.
All right, here we go. We got all the grout done, and we've wiped her down a couple of times. We got it looking really good, don't we, huh?
We did.
Really good. Like the color of the grout. I think it goes well with the slate.
Yeah.
It'll be a little darker once we actually put the sealant on there. It's a nice dark gray. It really accents the color of the slate.
Yeah, and it doesn't accentuate the grout line. Where
Yeah.
with it being natural tile, sometimes it's a little thicker in places.
Right. A little bit of regular.
It just kind of makes it blend in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks great. Can't wait to get the
Cabinets.
cabinets in there. Gotta let this stuff set up 24 hours, and then we'll come down here and start putting the cabinets together. Getting those bad boys out. That's gonna look great.
Oh my, it's gonna be a beast.
It's gonna be fun
I don't
setting
know
these
if I
in
have
place.
the
Huh?
muscles for that.